Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another edition of The Real Talk. Thank you so much for being here and for choosing to keep us company. I never take that for granted. It's always such a great honor to have you. Today's edition will be an interesting one. That's what I think. But my goodness, don't I say that about every other show? Oh my, but this one I'm sure you're going to love. We will be looking at the mice industry. You know, since the government of Rwanda chose to grow the mice industry and invested heavily in it, we've seen some amazing things happen. We've seen some of the biggest events being hosted in the country, some of the biggest actors, celebrities, musicians coming into the country for different reasons, for different activities and events. And some people around the region have been keeping an eye on what's going on here. And as a result, there's a gentleman that I'm having on the show today who's here to learn. That's what he told me in a conversation that we had off air. What I also love about this conversation is, as the East African community, where do we go from now? Where we are now, where do we go next? How are we going to get there? And how do you look at this industry, not from your country's perspective, but from the regional perspective? My goodness, let me not say more. Let's meet our guest. Welcome to The Real Talk. My name is Jackie and our guest is Ian Migwi. Ian is the CEO and founder of Billion Events in Kenya. Welcome to Rwanda, Migwi.
Thank you so much.
And welcome to The Real Talk.
Amazing. Thanks, I'm so glad. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure.
Amazing. I'm loving your country.
Thank you. You are, eh?
Loving it.
What have you been up to since you came? Which are some of the places you have visited?
First of all, I'm amazed about the very minimal things that I didn't think would be very different. I'm glad to know that it's true. It's a clean city.
It's a very clean city.
I don't need to come and test, so I can attest to that.
Yes.
And I love the order here. Also love a bit of there's so much order. Things are all over in the right place.
Yeah.
And I think there's so much to learn. I'm amazed every day when I'm moving around.
Yeah.
I'm learning from everyone that I meet.
Beautiful.
And every little things that happen.
Beautiful. Yeah. How long have you been in the events space? How many years?
So I pretty much count over 8.
Over 8.
Over 8 professionally. Around 8, but I would say I started earlier when back in campus, but professionally around 8.
Good. Let's go back where your life started. Yeah. What sort of background did you have? What kind of home were you raised in?
So I was raised in the central bits of Kenya, in a very small village somewhere. And fortunately, I'm the only child at home.
You said fortunately. I know somebody who will say unfortunately because they missed out on the company of siblings.
Definitely. I got the good side. I got the bad side also. Yeah. But pretty much raised by a dreamer, a father who is a dreamer. Okay. And then definitely I really wanted to help out everyone that was, because I was raised with very many cousins and we had one mission. One of us has to move out so that you can come back and help all of us.
And help the rest of us. Yeah. What were your parents doing?
Yeah, my parents, my dad was a bursar or an accountant in a school. Okay. My mom was just a farmer.
Oh, your mom was a farmer. And both of them are still alive?
Person, yeah.
Are they both alive?
Yeah, they're both alive. Beautiful. Definitely.
Thank God.
Yeah, I think they're still youngsters.
Yeah, they're still youngsters.
Youngsters by now.
You look young, so I'm sure they're still youngsters. Yeah. So did you have any difficulties raising fees? With your father as a bursar, did you go to the same school he was working?
He pretty much.
Then he would send other people's children home, but not you.
But he made sure he made sure that he wanted to give me a bit more. So what he did, he was a bursar in one of the local schools, but he always wanted me to go into a way bigger or
schools that were better.
And I think he did everything to make sure that was possible. We had very little, but he ensured. I remember some of the times my dad would come to school and I would see him cry because he knows he can't afford. And I didn't understand those things up until I came way later on and became a father, understood what it means for you to want to give your child the best, even if you don't have the capability at that particular time.
You were a good performer, I imagine.
I thank God, because I was a good performer in school.
That was good.
I performed well in the primary school. Then I went way later into high school. Also performed.
Good.
And
when it came to choosing a career, what career path did you take? What did you study at the university?
What happened is, my dad is in the profession now. So my dad wanted me to be an accountant, definitely.
Okay.
But, and he took me to a business course. But when I got there, then I realized, even if I was good at math, I didn't want to be an accountant. So I did the business course for the 2 years, but when I came to choose what to do, I chose marketing. Because that is where I loved more of what that was about. And I think that journey is what led me here.
You mentioned to me that you were a banker.
Yeah.
Before you founded Billion Events.
Yeah.
So what were you doing with the bank?
Exactly. So after I finished, in my last year in campus, I when you go to attachments, I went to an attachment in a certain bank, and I think the guys there liked how I was doing my things. So when I went back to the last semester, they called me back. They told me, can you be able to come and work? There is a new position open in marketing, and would love you to come and work on it. So I've not done with school, but I decided, let me just go jump onto the opportunity. Class I would figure out class and exams down the road. So I got into the banking industry. I started working even before I finished school. Then 2 years down the line, I definitely wanted more. I definitely wanted to do a bit more. And I was asking myself, I didn't get the chance to choose. Because you see, I got the job before I left school. So I didn't get the chance to choose what I wanted to be. But I remembered after like 2 or 3 years, there's something I was doing in campus that I loved.
What was that?
I was emceeing. I was in some of those things. I was in the student council. I was the guy emceeing the events in school. And one day when I was emceeing, there was the guest of honor. The guest of honor in a fundraiser in school looked at me after I emceed and told me, I think you have something in you that you don't even know. Because I had made sure people had fundraised, almost took all their money, but they were still happy.
Wow.
They were still smiling, and he told me, I think that's not possible with many people. Go figure out what that is about.
There's something special.
There's something probably in you that you don't know, and that ignited something in me, and I decided maybe I can try it.
And so after the 2 years at the bank, you decide, now let me go back to this emceeing. And now as you go back, where do you start? Because you're no longer at the university. You're no longer thinking of university events. So what's your most natural thing to do at that time?
So the best thing is, even when I was at the bank, that thing never left me. I was still finding myself in events. I was still finding myself in that space. People would say, call Ian to do the emceeing, and I would just do them. Then I realized they started paying me for it. They started paying me for it, and I even grew it. With the little money I got at the bank, I bought my own mini sound system for small events around 100 people, 200 people, and I would give it as a whole package. I would come with a DJ, I would come with an MC, and I would come with sound system.
I love that.
And then I think that grew now to an extent where when I was jumping out, I knew exactly what I wanted to go and do.
How was it getting in? And I asked that because I know that there are very many events companies in Kenya. But also it's a big country, and you might say, if Nairobi doesn't give me space to work and thrive, I'll go somewhere else. I'll go to Kisumu, I'll go to Naivasha.
I see.
How was it for you to get in as a beginner?
It was pretty hard because now you're jumping off from a very comfortable place. You have a good salary. The bank is taking care of you. But now you're jumping into a field where you don't understand structure, first of all. You don't understand how to do your own business. You get the money, but you don't know how that business money is supposed to function. Now jumping in, already there are people existing. So at the first month, because I had a few clients who would refer me, it was easy. But it was a very hard decision because I knew I would at some point not have clients, and I would still need to pay my bills. I would still need to feed my family back at home. So I knew it was very hard, but I knew even if it was hard, I needed to do it, because I would rather figure out what I was meant to be than just stay somewhere I know I'm not going to be here forever. So I jumped in. I think it was one of the boldest decisions I've made in life. But I jumped in and I said, instead of worrying I'm going to crash, what if I fly?
Yes, what if I fly?
So I just decided, let me go for it. And then the worst happened. It was like around 2019. COVID happened.
Oh, hold on. It was around the same time.
It was around the same time.
So you with your sound system,
new in the industry,
COVID hits.
COVID comes and hits on us. And you know, the way it came, one of the biggest industry it affected was the events industry, because we couldn't meet. And you know, we never knew that would happen, because we always thought people will always have events, regardless. And then it's here, it has happened. Hit us. Me and my sound system, we are in the house together. We can't go out. We can't talk.
You end up playing music for yourself.
I started DJing in the house, but you know, I need to still pay bills. So we survived through it. It was very tough at that particular time, because I didn't have another secondary income at that particular time. That was my only income. But I survived. I think it taught me a lot. It taught me a lot, because it's the thing that made me now realize that when I'm coming back after COVID, we needed to restructure. I can't just survive in a way. You know, I was doing a lot of business, and you know, in the entertainment industry, you make a lot of money in one weekend. But as a young person, you don't think
also
tomorrow.
Spend all that money in one weekend.
You don't think tomorrow you're going to need it. So you spend all of it. COVID has happened. You don't have savings. You've depleted your savings in 2 months. Now you are a young person who needs to survive and feed everyone. Then their structure comes in. You start realizing, I need to structure my business. I need to make it work. I need to figure out how it can be sustainable in the long run. So I think COVID is the one thing that made us rethink our perspective in business.
Okay, good. What has been your experience so far? Now that you know that was such a bumpy start.
Ride.
Yes, it was a bumpy ride. The beginning wasn't easy. But as years have gone by, what have you learned? What's been your experience? And I know you've also sat down and thought of the East African community. You're thinking of Rwanda, Kenya. That's why you're here. So let's talk about that experience, and then the bigger picture that you're seeing.
I'm seeing on it
for all of us in the region.
So pretty much I'm glad I jumped in, because it's been very rewarding. From one perspective is that it's something I really enjoy. So passionately, I'm here. I feel really alive when I'm within this space of events and experiences, and that is one of the biggest win I take, regardless of the money that comes with it, the people that comes with it, the traveling that comes with it, which are also very big advantages. I get to be exposed to a lot of people. I get exposure to a lot of countries because I travel around. I even am able to learn very many things because I'm all over the place. If an event is 1,000 people, probably I will meet 3 people who will change the entire perspective I have. So it has been very good. We've been building the company for now since COVID. That's around 4 to 6 years, structuring correctly. And when we looked at it, we realized we don't need to keep just very contained, because globalization is happening. There's so much things that are happening. The world is becoming more connected. There is phones, there is internet. There is no need for me to just be curtailed or limited by the boundaries we've created, the boundaries of within the Kenya or even East Africa. But what if you can be able to just do the same thing across with everyone else? Because you meet people in Rwanda and you realize, God, there is so much I can learn from these guys. And imagine if you are able to learn and do business with them. Then it means all of you can be pretty much stronger together instead of us surviving alone. Because the challenge that happens is when we are trying to do things alone, without collaboration, you struggle and you go through all the phases of struggles. On your own.
Yet you could have learned from another person's experience.
What if you learned a big thing from someone in Rwanda? that would change everything. Someone in Rwanda learns something from a Kenyan.
Yes.
Then the region becomes better because we are stronger as a region, definitely. Way stronger as a region because I've loved, we've been working in Uganda, Tanzania, and now Rwanda. I've learned the power in us as a region is so big.
It is. It is.
Even, you know, guys here are competing within the region. They don't know how big the market is. But, you know, if we compete here without the perspectives of outside, our dreams are limited. You can't grow. You're trying to grow. You've already grown the levels Rwanda can grow. But now you ask us, then what do I do next? You need to look at it from an East African region. Then that means there is so much growth because you realize so many things from outside.
You know, you've said competition. Is that something that you have witnessed, that you have seen? Because even within our borders, within Rwanda sometimes, I also do MC events. So you find, and I was in radio for a while as well. And one thing that I've always said is we don't have that strong collaboration as people in the industry. When I am at one radio and a friend of mine is at another radio station, I view them as competition. And so we will not exchange ideas, we will not come up with ways to grow together. We're constantly fighting, and as a result, you remain stagnated. So from your observation and experience, you feel like the countries within the East African region, we're doing more of competing instead of collaborating. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Because if you look at it, there's a book I read, and I read about two different kinds of existence of markets. There's a red ocean and a blue ocean. In the red ocean, competition is so bloody. Like all of you are trying to step on each other. You're trying to destroy each other for you to gain. That red ocean, the ecosystem says that even if you crash on everyone else, also something has to crash on you. So even the one crashing on others, something else is going to come crash on it. But in the blue ocean, which is an ecosystem, everything functions on its for the other. Even the globe, the way the globe exists for each other. Yeah, there is this person who does this so that this other person can do this. So when I looked at that competition, and even in the markets we've operated, like even in Kenya, people are trying to do the red ocean perspective, but it's not sustainable. Instead of hurting each other, when you collaborate, you better the entire ocean, you better the entire region, and you take care of that entire ocean for all of you. So what it means is an MC with an MC, they can always become better. One getting the job and the other one waiting for the next job is good. But one getting the job and then crashes the other so that they also can't handle 20 jobs at a day.
They can't.
Yeah, they can't. And even if they do 3 jobs at a day, they will lower the quality levels that they deliver. So again, the ocean is again messed up. So I've seen that competition, and I know collaboration is better than competition. Definitely we will compete because we are within the same market. But there are ways to compete in which are better the industry than destroy it. Collaboration comes in as a part, we usually call it compelaboration. Because it's competition, but it's competition. But it's competition that is with collaboration. And it changes, when you look at it that from that perspective, changes entirely. Because I will bring you business. If we partner more, we better the industry, we will all get the business. We'll all get the business because we'll actually realize, just as I was telling you, we will realize that we are all eating from the same table. And that table is what is going to be important to all of us. And
give me that analogy again. You said the table is here. We have that plate of food at the center of the table.
Exactly.
If we're eating together, we make sure the table is standing on 4 legs. But if we are fighting, one is picking one leg, the other one goes with the other leg.
So what eventually the plate is going to fall off. Because you're not taking care of the table. But food is enough for everyone. It's pretty much enough for everyone. But the perspective of I need to get the entire table for myself, you also can sustain it as your own. But if we all take care of this table, at dinner we'll always be able to eat. You may be eating at a different time than I'm eating, but it is important that you leave the table in a correct manner.
Yes.
So that your
the next person can also.
And then that next person will leave it better for you. So it's going to go circularly. It's going to come back to you. But if you destroy it, then all of us are going to lose. The table is no longer there. Then there is no food. Then other people are going to come and build their own table, look at us and tell us, you guys can't join us.
Yep.
You can't join us.
You had
your own table, you destroyed your own table. Yeah. So it's pretty much something interesting to look at.
Yeah.
And I love the way we are starting to think about it. Because like coming to Rwanda and collaborating with people means a lot.
So before you talk about coming to collaborating, I want to hear from you. What are those things that you have observed from a distance? Because now you're here, and you're here because there are things you were seeing, you got interested in them, you love them, and now you said, let me move closer. What are those things you have learned from Rwanda and the way Rwanda runs its events, organizes,
events all over the region. But Rwanda has always been so interesting. From number one is the perception that has been built around it. And because I have a marketing background, I understand building a perception. I understand how you...
The perception is everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
Because and perception builds a lot of industries. It is the one thing that builds industries. And I love the way Rwanda has come out so strongly to showcase what the capabilities are here. It is so important to showcase what your good capabilities are. Because otherwise, out there we don't know. But when we look at it and we see the capabilities that are being showcased, I love the way the likes of the ministries that are here that are running the KCC. We always are amazed by the KCC from over there. We love the way it is handled. We are surprised of the kind of events and meetings, global meetings that are happening at the KCC. And when you see brands coming from outside and are capable of handling such events within the sphere, it means things are being done right.
Yes.
It means there's someone doing something right.
That's right.
So that's the main thing that have been interesting to me. I've been wondering, how is that being done? How are they doing it so correctly? Because I remember when I was joining into the industry, guys from here came to learn a bit of things from over there. But now they've learned, we want to learn.
Yes.
And I think it is important that we come and learn because we can be able to
You're
better
right
it.
to say that. Because when the team, in fact, went to many different countries that they thought were doing well. So came to Kenya, learned whatever they could learn, picked whatever they could learn from any other country that was doing events and, the mice industry very well. And then came back to implement. And the implementation is top notch.
I love that. On implementation, I'm going to give you an A+.
We don't leave anything to chance. I've had the pleasure of being part of some of the events, and you can tell people will have sleepless nights to make sure nothing goes wrong. Recently, when there was a big event happening in Kenya, and we were seeing presidents just bumping into each other. You find another president.
We were hiding our faces.
Imagine. You guys were hiding your faces. We were so angry. We were so angry. And so when you look at such things happening in a country like Kenya, that we have respected for long, for organizing events, and then that happens there, and then when somebody comes here, the experience is completely different. It means somebody is sleeping.
Exactly.
On this side,
somebody is sleeping. On this side, someone is not sleeping.
Someone is not. People are not sleeping. We're going to take a short break. Then when we come back, you had a meeting not long ago, and you brought on board different stakeholders. And there's something that you pointed out. Sometimes when you think about mice and that big event, we could forget an artist. You will forget a local artist and focus more on the international artist. And that's a debate that we've had here for a while as well. I would like us to start with that when we come back.
Totally.
Glad to have you with us on The Real Talk. Please do use the hashtag The Real Talk. Send that message, comment, suggestion, and we will respond to you. We're live on RTV and on our official YouTube channel. We'll be back. Welcome back. This is The Real Talk. Today we're talking about the MICE industry, meetings, incentives, conferences, and events. That's what it is in full. We're used to saying MICE, MICE, MICE. Sometimes you don't even know what it is in full. So MICE is an acronym. You know, and so along the way, with everything that you have done, there was a realization. As you're thinking of collaboration, today you're thinking of collaboration within the region, but it started with you people thinking of collaboration within the country because you thought we are competing too much, can we come together? So you brought everyone together. How did that go? What was the outcome of the meeting?
It was amazing because we looked at it and we saw what do we do, because it's not happening correctly. Something is going wrong. We are having big concerts in Kenya, but some things are going wrong. So what then do we do? And then,
there was the example that I remember recently of show-goers losing their life. Though, that was quite. So security became such an issue.
Such a big issue.
When you talk about things going wrong, security was one of those.
Yeah, totally. Security was one of them. And then when we looked at it, we saw. Then that means we need to recollect ourselves. We need to sit together. We need to see why are the things going wrong. So we decided we start with a conversation called the Africa Event Summit, which we called every stakeholder within the entire sphere. You know, it's a lot of small different people. And when they came, we realized the people we were not thinking were important in conversations came, and we heard them, and we realized,
they were important.
Yeah, the people.
These are people who felt left out. Every time you had events.
Yeah, the likes of dancers. We had artists, executives within the room. Wow. Dancers were telling us things that we had not thought about. The perspective of them coming to an event, we don't take care of them. We don't give them rooms to change. They're not given sometimes food and water. Some of those things are very minimal things, but they affect the entire experience, because the dancer is coming to create an experience. So if the experience you've given them is not correct, then they don't deliver.
Then they will not deliver.
Security came out very strongly. We realized, because we were an industry that had taught itself, security always came as the last thing. While in real sense, it should come as the first thing. Because it touches lives.
Thousands of people together. It touches lives.
It touches lives.
Property.
Yeah, it doesn't. It cannot be the last thing you think about. It has to be the first thing you think about when you're dealing with people, because people have life, and life is very much important. So when we sat down together and we had that conversation, we realized there is a lot of journey ahead of us. There is so much we need to do.
We have a long way to go.
We have a long way to go, but we need to start right now. And sitting there, artists came in. They were talking about how the treatment has been different between the local and international artists. Again, it's a business of perception, the way we showcase them. And one of the artist managers was mentioning it and saying, just because of the way we show our local artists smaller than the international artist on a poster or on a billboard,
what?
That
Talk
changes
about
the entire
it. Yes,
perception.
when someone is advertising a concert with a big artist, you find lots of faces on the poster. But then the big artist, the international artist, is given the most space on the poster.
So there is no way.
I would never think about that, by the way.
That's
somebody
pointed
it out.
But it is something very important.
Yes, we will think about money, because I've always even had that conversation with artists. And the biggest complaint will be, money, they're paid more than we are, they'll be treated better than we're treated. We don't even think of the poster. And that's a big thing.
It's a big thing, because the fan or the attendee or the countryman can see that poster. So immediately you show that perception. They know they cannot pay more value for this local artist than the international artist, because you've already shown them the international artist is bigger.
You see?
Just doing a poster that has same level of images could change the entire perception. But we would never think about that, because we don't sit down and talk. We always meet on delivery.
You know what I have observed of late? Our Rwandan artists, I think, tired of fighting for space and all, I'm seeing a lot of them organizing their own events, like solo events. They're not having any other person. They're the main act. And believe it or not, we've seen them fill the BK Arena.
They are.
Exactly. In fact, most of the time that place has been filled to capacity. It was when a local artist was having gospel artist was having their show there, or even if it was a secular artist, like in a Bruce Melody, Israel Mbonye, they're the ones who have filled that place.
Look at it that way. You will realize then the local artist is way much. He's the one.
They deserve to be given the value.
When we are planning,
you know,
when we're planning concerts,
right.
we look at it from this perspective. The international artist could be the one that makes you charge more, but the person that makes you fill up that stadium is the local artist.
100%.
So you can, when you look at it that way, you realize there is perception we've built which is wrong, because the local artists could be the ones that are making all these big events happen, but we are treating them in a different manner.
And should we start charging more then? Even for shows where we don't have an international artist, because the difference is quite significant. See, because as you said, the international artist will make somebody charge us maybe 30 francs. And then when it's a local artist show, where we want to pay 5,000 francs. In fact, we'll even complain. So we need to increase that price as well for our artists.
Totally. This is how we need to go about it.
Tell me.
The thing is, we have a journey to go. And the thing is, we have to rebuild that perception now. Because the value you get from a local artist is almost similar from the value you get from an international. But the international is operating at a global scale. So we've not yet pushed our artists to operate at a global scale. And that is the challenge we are having. Because when we give a stage, like let's say I sit down here, I bring one of the biggest international artists, I need to make sure that it's just like the way when the outside the global countries like China is coming in, they train local engineers, they elevate them. So what we need to also do is we give the same stage, we give them the same treatment, and we start elevating them. We start
elevate them.
Yeah, we elevate them, and now we get to a point where the perception is already rebuilt in a way. The person who is paying for the ticket understands that even if I'm paying for Bruce, then and I'm being charged 30,000, then it means there is value. They understand there is value.
Yes.
But without them understanding there is value, they are not going to pay the same valuation for the international or local artists.
They won't.
And it's a journey we have to walk together now. Because it comes from building, because systems are already built out there. The international artists operate on different levels of systems. And when they're coming here because they've already put in their work to elevate them to there. Then our artists also need now to start pushing their limits. We start pushing their limits. We start, like some of the concerts we are planning concerts where we are going to place the two together on one big stage. Imagine if I placed a Jay-Z here or a Rihanna here, and then I place a Bruce here on the same stage. The level at which I've elevated Bruce
to be something else. Yes.
It's extremely big because I've put them on one stage. I've given them the same treatment. I've shown the fan, the perception correctly that these are the same artists. They're doing bigger things because we listen to all of them. Because that fans love everyone, love their musicians.
For the few days that you've been around, you have had meetings with different people. Like the convention bureau, you had a fellow events organizers and producers and all. I want you to point out some of the things that you will be taking back. This is saying this I have learned because of the trip I made to Rwanda, and when I go back home, I want to implement it. If you can point maybe 3 things.
Maybe 3 things,
Maybe 3 things.
I think, I can point them out because they're actually very visible.
They're very visible.
Very visible.
And you want to implement them when you go back because it will make a difference. Give them
like number 1 would be the level of professionalism here. Is very high. You walk into someone's office, you can tell I will work with this guy even before I talk to him. Because the level of professionalism, the likes of EMS, you walk into their office, the likes of Centerpiece, you walk into their office.
You even went to Rwanda events, you told me?
All those guys, you walk into their office. And you realize what this looks like. This guy is here to do professional work.
They're not here to play.
They're not playing. The way their systems are arranged, the way the lights are arranged, the trusses are arranged. You can tell so much about someone just by the look of how they place themselves. So professionalism is one of the key things I'm taking. As per planning, my meetings were planned even before I came, and these people have remembered about those meetings. We said we would meet at 2. That is a level which is still struggling in the rest of the East African countries, and it's really good here. Then the other thing is the understanding of merit. There is so much understanding of merit from even the clients that we've met here. They're assessing you on merit. They want to know, are you able to do this? What are your capabilities? And not necessarily on many other things. Not necessarily on shortcuts. There's no shortcuts all over. It's on merit. So what that tells you is that industry can grow. Because it's on merit.
Because when you bring somebody because they're your sister or they're your nephew or cousin, if things go wrong, then it was a family affair. Something very big, you reduce it to a family affair.
And it messes up. If you remember earlier, the way we used to do your wedding, you used to have your auntie as the one taking care of food. Then your cousins are the ushers. Then they go and eat and they forget ushering. It's wrong, but when it's on merit and on professionalism, then it makes it so good in a way that industry could grow on itself. So that's something I think, I don't know how we are going to implement it in the other East African countries, but I think us, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, we need to just come here and stay for a whole day and learn. And then, because that is what is going to build the industry. That will build the industry, because value will be seen as value. Then the last thing probably I'm also taking home is the desire to grow.
Good.
The market here could be defined as pretty much new, but the strides the market has made, the events industry has made in that short period is so big. And when you talk to the event stakeholders here, you realize it's because they have that desire to grow. They have that desire to learn better, to see what are the global standards, what are people doing, which machines are they using, how do we do it better? Not only necessarily for the client, but they want to even push the client to higher levels of quality. That's also very important, and something that we need to adopt all over, because if you don't grow, then you are dying a very slow death. But with growth over and over, with you wanting to change, I was talking to one of the CEO of Afrifame, and he's come up with a whole strategy on what do they do next to grow. How do they introduce podcasts? How do they introduce corporate work? All those things. It is the desire you see in people. We want to grow. We don't want to remain the same. We want to grow. So, and that desire is what keeps us alive. You need to wake up every day and be inspired. You can't just
just get complacent.
You can't just be solving problems every day. You're solving problems. You need to have something that inspires you. We need to look at an industry and say, we want to be like the UAEs. We want to be like the Coachellas, the big concerts. We want that. And that is the reason as to why you see Rwanda growing and getting to the global scale very quickly. And I think it's something, imagine if we were able to do that together now.
As a region.
That would be amazing, man. We would,
every time, I love it when I am part of events, and it's something that Rwanda normally says. When, for example, we are hosting people from outside the region. And, we keep saying, don't look at Rwanda in isolation. When we invite you into Rwanda to do business, we are opening a floodgate. We are opening this wide gate into the rest of Africa.
True.
You'll access all the countries in the immediate neighborhood and even beyond the neighborhood. And I feel like that approach has been the best thing for Rwanda.
It is the best.
Because they've talked to people, but also you can tell that desire to grow. You can tell that Rwanda is very accepting of the fact that we cannot do it alone. And so if they need to bring somebody from Botswana, they will bring that person from Botswana. If we're to make this thing successful by bringing someone from Namibia, from Mauritius, let's bring them. Because it's for the good of the continent.
Exactly. Because if you look at it, Africa is the next biggest market. everyone outside is seeing us as Africa, or even as the East Africa region. They can see how big the market is. And I was telling you, we are like 600 million in East Africa, population-wise. Over half of those people are young people, the young generation that are spending now and will be spending for the next 20 or 30 years. When people look at us that way, they see the capability. But the problem is that you can never proofread your own paper. So as local countries, we keep seeing ourselves as Kenya. I keep seeing myself as Rwanda. You keep seeing yourself as Uganda. You even go lower to see yourself as Kigali, as Nairobi, as Kampala. And what that means is that you become so small, you can't influence anything. Because you're trying to function in a global scale, and your muscle is too small than anyone else you're competing with. But if we collaborate and we look at it from an East African region,
as the 600 million plus,
we are coming to the market as 600 million people. Then we will be able to decide things about our own industry that don't have to be decided by people coming all the way from outside. So it is very important for us to look at it from a structure perspective. So how do we structure the industry? How do we collaborate within the region? How do I work? How do I become friends with the event planners here? How do I become friends with the event planners in Kampala, or even in Burundi, or even in Dar es Salaam or Arusha? How do we become friends? How do we operate within the same level? Because what we say is, if we structure the region, it's very easy for the things to flow down. If we say these are the levels of quality in East Africa, then Kigali is going to adopt it, Nairobi will adopt it. But even if we create here down, to push it to Nairobi, then it becomes another problem to push it elsewhere. So I have a vision. I know the market is going to grow, and I want all of us to be part of that future.
I wonder how you're going to do that. Because I look at the East African community, I look at our political problems. When you look at the people sitting at IALA, and there's so many things they said, this should have been implemented by many years ago. We have not done that. How are you going, if on the political front we are not that aligned, how are you going to overcome that? Yes, how would you bring the mice industry together without political interference?
I see what you mean. I know politics are part of us within Africa, and even within the East Africa region. We live around them. And the best thing to go about it is to structure. When you back to structure. When you structure it, because I even was looking at one of the richest guys in Africa, Aliko Dangote. And he wants to build a refinery within the East African region. But Dangote does not approach it as Kenya.
He doesn't,
He comes and sits down the three presidents and tells them, so now I want us to build there's people investing in the refinery, but we cannot build it as Kenya. Because he understands when it is structured, then it does not depend on someone. It is when you put, like when you in our company, we have this thing we keep doing, which is structuring each and everything. You give it a structure. The way an event is done, there is a structure for it. The way we report things, there is a structure for it. The way you travel to the client, there is a structure for it. The way you meet the client, there is a structure for it. What that does is that when someone changes,
the structure remains.
But if everything depends on me as the lead event planner in billion events, then the moment I go home or my child is sick,
there's no blueprint. There's nothing that people, there's nothing that people look at and refer to.
Exactly.
And the event runs well in your absence.
There isn't. So that is still the same thing we are missing in the events ecosystem. There is no operating procedures. There is no how we do it. So we can't even influence policy right now. We can't tell government we want this to be law, we want this to be policy, because we are still very disintegrated. But if we have a structure and we have somewhere we meet every year at the Africa Event Summit, we are able to talk about our things, then everyone else can see structure. Structure you can see even without being told that structure. Then that way, regardless of who is president or who does it, you're not able, they don't affect it. Yeah.
You know, the Africa summit that you've talked about several times, and you had one in Kenya, you said, last year.
Yeah.
What sort of people do you hope to see attend this? Is it something that Jackie can come for?
Yeah.
Is it something that if I have a DJ, my favorite DJ in Kigali, my favorite DJ in Huye Musanze, is that a place where you want us to come in and...
exactly. If anyone...
What's your vision?
My vision is if anyone is in the event industry to stay. If you care about the industry, you're a DJ, you're a dancer, you're an AV person, you're an MC, you're a host, whoever operates within the events and experience industry, including the PR agencies, the HRs of different companies,
the talent managers,
everyone. We want to come and sit and talk. We learned so much from a dancer in Kenya. I just want to come and see. We had DJs in the room. Seated with them, you get to learn a lot. So everyone is much welcome. We want to have not only Kenyans in the room, we want to have people from Rwanda, Uganda, and Tanzania in the room. So that way, we have an East African region conversation. Otherwise, it's not an East African region conversation if we are only Rwandan in the room or Kenyan in the room. That's the only way we grow it. That's the only way we secure the future together. Otherwise, we won't be part of that future.
You know, you're young. You've done your few years, but I know you're seeing yourself to very many years to come. So far from your business experience, what are those things that you're going to change moving forward because you believe it's good for the growth of the industry?
Some of the things we will change is definitely looking at it from even bigger perspective, like investment perspectives. Look at it, how do we invest way later on when we are no longer doing all these things we are doing? How do we figure that out? Things like we are looking at it from what is the professional standard? What is the quality standard? What is this, the conversation we can have around all these things? What do we say is the operating procedure? Because us, we are already moving out, but to us, we work with service providers. So we're not able to deliver alone. So we don't want to grow alone. We have to grow together. So without growing together, then I will be trying to deliver a job to a very big client, but I'm still
your service provider is still down there.
So how do we grow together? How do we go upwards together? The thing that here in Rwanda, they have the desire to grow. What if we spread that desire to grow across the bridge?
If somebody who's watching us chooses to forget everything we have said on this show, what is that thing that you want to leave them with? What is that message you want them to always remember?
I would speak to the guys in the events and experience industry and tell them that the future is going to be very big because experience is the next biggest market or the next biggest money maker. So, but there is a risk that is very big that global brands will come and take over if we don't collaborate. So collaboration is our biggest savior for the next 5 to 10 years. If we don't collaborate, none of us will have it. And that is a very big risk which we cannot assume and sit down and forget about it. We have to collaborate. We have to look at it from a perspective of how do we grow together.
That's good.
It is a win-win for the entire industry.
Thank you. Ian, thank you. This was beautiful. Let's collaborate. Otherwise, if we don't collaborate, none of us will have it.
Exactly.
It will be diminished for all of us. It's been a pleasure to have this conversation with Ian as somebody in the industry, but also with a lot of friends that are in the mice industry. I hope that, I've enjoyed the conversation, and I hope that you have too. I hope you have learned something. And as Ian has said, let's look at how to work together and grow together. Every time we are fighting or competing against each other, all we are doing is just stagnating, lowering the quality, and yet we could come together and take ourselves to the next level. Thank you so much for your company. It's always a pleasure, and we do look forward to seeing you next week. God bless you.